Welcome to your doom. Shut it and get over here. Massive uppercut!
It's me! Can't really do that voice at the moment because I'm still a bit ill. But anyway, it's me, and hello, welcome to another edition of the JabJab Show. Now, as you can see, I've got a Nintendo 64 box and console and everything within the box with me now. I wanted to make this video back in December last year. Unfortunately, some illnesses and personal issues I've documented on this channel have got in the way. So here I am doing this, and the thumbnail suggests it's 20 plus years since me buying one of these, a Nintendo 64. Okay. So I bought this in December 1997 with mainly my Christmas bonus money I got from the job I was working as a printer back in the day. And this was 270 quid. I bought it new. I've got a Nintendo 64 before I got a PS1. So I essentially went from a Mega Drive. I also had a Super Nintendo at the time, which incidentally I bought off a friend for 250 quid, the Super Nintendo, so he could buy a PS1, which I in turn then bought that off him for the same amount of money, so he can buy a PS2. Anyway, so I digress. So I went from, so I got this before PS1, and there were a lot of friends who had a PlayStation 1. I mean, I played a few games on there and stuff, obviously, and it was only until, I don't know, year 2000 or something, where I found out I knew of someone with a Sega Saturn. Yes, no, I didn't know anyone with a Sega Saturn. Mad as heck. You know, everyone knew that, well, I knew they were around and stuff, and what, I think, you know, I love the Mega Drive, and I've got a Mega CD, you know, and there's some good games on there. It didn't do that well, like commercially or critically, and same way for the 32X and so on. The Sega in the mid-90s was a little odd, you know, shall we say. I kind of lost my faith in them because of the whole kind of messing around with the 32X and the Saturn and all that. You know, you can watch the videos online, basically, you know, in terms of what happened there and who's to blame. You know, Sega's to blame for their own downfall in that period of time. But you know, I documented in all the videos. Basically, what I'm saying is, I kind of switched to Legends to Nintendo after the Mega Drive. I got the Super Nintendo, bought it off my mate who, you know, I'd been playing loads of games at his house, you know, a couple of brothers at their house, you know, playing loads of games, loving, you know, all that stuff. So I bought it off him, and I thought, right, Nintendo's where it is now, so I'm going to wait until the 64's out, because I saw the advert for Mario 64, and it looked wonderful, so like you see Mario throwing balls around and all the rest of it, and it looked very fun. So yeah, I got this in December 1997. I'm still a bit ill. You can hear I sound a bit hilarious. So yeah, so I got this before the PlayStation 1. And with this, I got Mario 64. It wasn't a packing game. I got Mario 64. Now, fortunately, as I did mention in one of my previous videos, it was the Super Star Wars game, Super Nintendo. I'm mentioning that I wanted to play a Star Wars game on the 64, but it wasn't working. I think the power supply is gone. Still, because of money and all that, you know, I haven't been able to replace it. I'm going to do it very soon because we got payday today or yesterday, whenever this video goes out. So I'm going to get a power pack and you know, all go well, should have a up and running 64 again. So I can't show you any new footage of the games that I'm going to play, but I'm gonna put in old footage that I've played on my channel. I've made videos on Mario 64, Banjo-Kazooie, anything else. And anything else that I've N64 related, you know, my memory's a bit rubbish at the moment. So I'm just going to rattle off a few games. I'm going to put this down here for now. Rattle off a few games I do have, all lovely in their own way. No particular order. Rogue Squadron is another game. This is Rogue Squadron, Factor 5, first in the Rogue Squadron series of them, and it came with a, I think this one come with a, expansion pack, which, basically made it look more lovely, even more lovely on the 64. Basically, flying around, getting stuff, blowing stuff up, and using X-wings and B-wings and so forth. And there's a Millennium Falcon in there as well, I think. There's a sheet. Banjo-Kazooie, yes, lovely stuff. This is rare. Yeah, it's designed for Rumble Pack. The 64 introduced the Rumble Pack feature because, as well as the innovations of the 64. Okay, the next one I've got here is Zelda Ocarina of Time. Now, anyone who's played this will know how lovely this game is. I remember buying this with my mate within the first few days of it coming out. I think it was about 50 quid, 40 quid, 45 or something. The development on Zelda Ocarina of Time, which actually came out in, I should know this off by heart, 1998. There was footage back in 96, and it looks fairly different from what it actually ended up being, but it's worth the wait. This is a lot of people's favourite game of all time. Maybe Zelda a game of all time. My favourite Zelda of all time. I've not played all of them, but yeah. Lovely stuff. It's very lovely. I will talk about Zelda in more detail. These games I'll play in more detail. I'll talk about in more detail in the undedicated thing. This is no introduction needed here. Mario 64, one of my favourite games, right up there. My favourite games of all time. I did make a video on it, so I'm a bunch of clips on this. Basically, this was the first game I actually played on the 64. When I got the console and the game, I thought, might as well, it'd be rude not to play it. And when you look at the controller for the 64, and I thought, what's this 3-pronged thing? How does one use this? It looked very unwieldy. Now I know that some people may not like it and stuff, the controller, and it is, looks very different from what we've come used to, certainly the Super Nintendo controller, the Mega Drive. It's all kind of but what basically, I might have said this on the video. It's been a while since I made the Mario 64 video. I might have said it on that one, but anyway, you fire up the game, you start the game, and you're just Mario. You're outside the castle, and you can hear, all the outside noises of, basically outside the castle, and you do little tutorials with a little, and you learn how to do certain jumps, like you got a triple jump, you got a backflip, you got all these other things you can do. And when you think about when it goes from and this is one of the things for me for Mario 64, when it goes from 2D games to 3D, it allowed a lot more kind of moves. You can do a lot more moves, jumping, running, all the rest of it, and with the analog controller and all that, added a whole lot to it, and it was just discovering all that lot. And you had this little playground outside the castle. This basically the moat, the outside, the grass. You can just mess around for ages and just get used to the control. It's such a beautiful way of introducing yourself, introducing you to the new moves of Mario, and and none of them feel gimmicky. None of them feel like, you say in Mario Odyssey, there's a couple of moves or so where you don't have to use them, but where you reach the control, the Joy-Cons, and it's a little bit gimmicky. You don't need to use them. Nothing in Mario 64, to me, none of the moves feel like, they're just there to look good, kind of thing. But Mario 64, love it. Again, this is a platformer. It's very weird. Mystical Ninja starring Goman. Did a couple of 2 or 3 games, I think, on the Super Nintendo, and I think some on the NES as well. Basically, this guy, blue-haired chap, and you go around collecting stuff, and you're eating weird stuff. It's a Japanese game. It's very odd, but it's good. It's an American one. You can get a converter, and you can play American games on it, and Japanese games. I had a Snowboard Kids, I think it was called, in Japanese game. Don't have it anymore. I can play that really easy, I think. Diddy Kong Racing. Yeah, I got this for Christmas, I think. I got money, you know, like Christmas, and I got this. Cause Christmas '94 was very, you know, be a bit serious now. Was quite difficult for me because you know, I have mentioned this in previous videos. I think my air quote breakdown video from a month and a bit ago. You know exactly when that was. I'm not sure. Basically, Christmas '97, my granddad was in hospital, like, you know, and you know it was a difficult time. And the games like Mario 64 and Diddy Kong Racing helped me through it. You know, as I mentioned in a couple of videos, whenever video games have saved me sometimes. Films have saved me, video games save me. My passions in life help me move on, and they're helping me now. As you know, I say a few weeks ago, I had to break down and update videos. YouTube's helped me, YouTubers, what my channel's about, what I'm doing and stuff, and my video games, films, and everything on the cinema. That's all helping me. What I'm saying is, point is, video games like this has helped me. This is a very good game, Diddy Kong Racing. If you've not played it, yeah, but you know, you better I do. It's I did have Mario Kart 64, or at least borrowed it. I can't remember if my cousin had it, I think. I borrowed it. I'm gonna say I prefer this. I think the variety of things, and you know, yeah, the multiplayer of Mario Kart 64, like Super Mario Kart, is really good. Don't get me wrong. I remember lots of friends and stuff coming around with playing this with, like, you know, four screens, and you know, like GoldenEye, and you're playing 4-player, and you know, you're going through all the levels and stuff. You can have like hovercraft, you can have airplanes, you can have cars. It's just, and you can collect things. It's more of an adventure type, you know, thing. There was a retro game issue a while back. You know, went on to the development of how they made this and how they developed this, and it's quite interesting read. You know, so it is like more of an adventure kind of like collecting stuff as well, more than just a pure racing game. But yeah, very good. I've got other games as well. There are other games available. These are no real order. And Lilac Wars. I think this is the one that I got. I think it's probably called Star Fox 64 in the UK. Big box, as you can see. You got Rumble Pack with it. That's hence the big box, I guess, because the cartridge is just it's not the regular size cartridge, obviously. I don't know how much I paid for it. Like, there's a sticker on there. Should have really got rid of that. Don't have stickers on boxes, especially cardboard. It just tears them up. Bane of my existence. I suppose you can steam off with a kettle, boil a kettle, and do it that way, I suppose. Yeah, it includes Rumble Pack controller accessory. Okay, last but very not least is GoldenEye. I've only got a cartridge for this. GoldenEye. I've mainly only played the multiplayer on that. I went through some of the levels. I can't remember how far I got into the single player mode, but it was a lot of fun. The multiplayer, like, you know, the multiplayer game. You know, anyone who's played it, you know, it's really good. It's you know, I'm not really good at it because, you know, there's people who are better than me at it and stuff. But you know, it's a very good game. GoldenEye, probably might be, you know, considered by many as the best console-based first-person shooter. I'm not sure about now, cause a lot of this modern game, you know, there's a lot of games that come out since. Can't deny the you know, the influence and the importance of the game, the significance and all that. There's also Turok I've got, you know, Turok was a good, you know, a favourite of mine. Turok 2 as well. It has the cerebral bore weapon, which is one of my favourite weapons of all video games. This console, the Nintendo console, was the first time I saw third-party developers kind of moving away from Nintendo to mainly Sony for the PlayStation. There's reasons for that. Mainly, I think, is because Nintendo's stayed cartridge based, where Sony's and you know, and Sega with their Saturn was going, like, you know, CD technology. In the early 90s, you know, was the time, not just those two consoles, but other consoles were like saying, oh, you can fit a lot of stuff on CDs. That's the whole FMV based games, you know, started coming out with the Mega CD, and all the early 90s, you know, like CDI, 3DO, and just all these like CD. That seems to be the natural progression Nintendo stayed with the cartridge based stuff. Storage wise, it meant people like Square, well, companies like Square, for example, they chose to, well, they did a lot of Final Fantasies on the Nintendo consoles. They went and made Final Fantasy 7 on the PlayStation because of the extra storage. They still had to use 3 discs for that game. So I don't know how many cartridges that would be, and as cartridges cost so much more to produce, and I don't know how much that would be. But what was really good about Nintendo, another good thing about the Nintendo 64, I can't get my words out properly because I've had a whole week of having cold and ill. I would have got this video done past 2 or 3 days earlier or something, and then moved on. It is what it is. Just ill and stuff. You know what? Yeah, like I say, another good thing about the N64, which I love, is Rare. The company Rare. You notice some of the games I've got here are Rare, made by Rare. There are others. Obviously, they made others like Blast Corps. I've got Donkey Kong 64. I failed to mention that one. And there's a few others. And I personally feel this is Rare's best era for games. Okay, they did a lot of good stuff on the Super Nintendo. You know, Donkey Kong Country series. You know, and you know, NES, back in NES. You know, and even Spectrum days of Ultimate. You know, they did a lot of stuff. But as they were Rare, I think, you know, I feel before they got sold to Microsoft, and that's a whole other video. What's happened to Rare since then? I know they've got a game called Sea of Thieves coming out. Not sure, you know, that's been delayed and stuff. I'm not sure too much about that. But as it stands, for me, Nintendo 64 it was Rare's best era. So yeah, there's a lot of things to love about the Nintendo 64 for me. Don't know where it ranks in my consoles of all time kind of thing, you know. But you know, there's a ton of fun to be had. So I would like to read your opinions on Nintendo 64. Did you have one? Did you buy it from, like, you know, when it came out? Did you buy one much later? Because, you know, some of the consoles I've got I didn't get at the time, I bought a bit later. Hence, like the PlayStation 1, which I got after the 64. So just any memories of the 64, any favourite games, any worst games, because, you know, have you got Superman 64, for example? You know, and just there's others, you know, the Cruising USA is not supposed to be that good, and you know, there are others. But I would say, you know, even though PlayStation 1, PS1 won out in the 5th generation wars, if you will. You know, it's just Sony was just handing out development kits to anyone, it seems, and I mean, don't get me wrong, there are some excellent games on the PS1, okay, but I think it's difficult for wording. Basically, I think the N64 pound for pound had the better games, considering the relatively low amount of games that came out for the 64. Had the best ratio of good to great games, if that makes sense. For me personally, anyway. I mean, you know, there's a lot of fun to be had on the PS1. I'm not knocking it. Obviously, you know, it was you know, the winner of this generation, if you will, in terms of sales and stuff. But you know, 64 for me is my favourite console of that generation, the 5th generation. So yeah, any best, worst, any games for the 64, any anecdotes 64. You know, I don't have tons of games for them. How many games have you got for the 64? You know, just let me know. And just touching on future videos as well. Mention, you know, the fact I wanted to make this type of video back in December, and because of illness and so forth. And I'm currently coming out from an injury. I still sound a bit hilarious and still a bit blocked up and stuff. So, you know, what I'm saying is I've got a video idea coming up about health, my health. You know, and why I wanted, you know, what I would ideally want to do for that. It makes sense makes more sense in my head at the moment. I don't know. It'll make sense when I make it and stuff. Also, today, walking home from work, you know, we've got a hilarious snow situation. I've got an idea for a series of videos for my channel. So I will be bringing them out. I've got a couple of videos to make. I've got things to make, ideas and stuff. The new idea I thought of today is a retro game based thing. You know, it's a little bit different from what I usually do, but you know, I'm open to doing new things and stuff. You know, on my channel, I'm having a bit of fun. Why not? So hopefully, hopefully, all going well. It should be better than the next. Getting better and stuff. I am getting over this illness I've got. It's been horrible, trying to do stuff, and you just full of cold and stuff. But anyway, enough of me. These are my issues and stuff. So thank you for watching. Anyway, I'm now rambling a bit. I do have a little bunch of notes here, but I've said pretty much all I want to say. So thank you for watching, and just any note, anything about the 64, please drop me a message down below in the comment section. And like, subscribe, comment, and tell your friends and everything. And in the words of the new Cyrus, send the word.